What does it mean to live in the moment? Life is about the moments, the good and the bad. Very often we focus on keeping the good moments going. We don't think about how to help ourselves when we're experiencing those bad moments. Sometimes we frame it as, you only live once, do it now, you have nothing to lose. Let's just get on a plane and, travel to wherever, worry about the rest tomorrow. Living in a moment can also mean being depressed, being unsure of your future, being unsure of your career. Very often we focus on keeping the good moments going. We don't think about how to help ourselves when we're experiencing those bad moments. I'm going to tell you how. The first thing to do is to learn how to be present. Being present means seeing and being aware of your circumstances as it happens in the moment. Why is it important to be present? Being present allows you to not only identify what you're experiencing in the moment, but to also identify what you need in the moment. Identifying your needs, stating your needs, moves you closer to facilitating how you can fulfill those needs. So here's an exercise to help you be more present. Ask yourself the following. What am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this? What do I need right now to help me get through these feelings? How can I facilitate my need? Once you answer those questions, you can end by telling yourself an affirmation. For instance, what I am experiencing right now feels permanent, but it's not. It's temporary and I will be able to release it. My current feelings are not my permanent circumstances. Remember, you don't have to live in your bad moments forever. You can identify what you need to help yourself get through it. You can take the steps and then you can move forward. And then the next thing you know, when a bad moment comes up again, you feel more equipped to help yourself. See you later.
Women say things like, well, they always come back. He always comes back. That's not a compliment. Don't play yourself.
Sometimes I hear artists say, I just want to be famous. And my question to you is, why? Why do you want to be famous? What is your reasons for wanting to be famous? And I think that it's important to be very honest with yourself and have that conversation. Be very clear about what you want to be famous for, because you could end up being famous for something you don't want to be famous for. Be very detailed about what you ask the universe for, because it may show up in a way that you did not envision.
So one of my favorite pieces of advice from a Black woman to me was perception is reality. Back 10 years ago when I was in college, the lady said that. And at the time I didn't know what she was talking about. I was like, oh, whatever, who cares, whatever. I brushed it off. But years later, after doing lots of mindset work, abundance mindset, positivity mindset, emotional intelligence, communication, all those good things, right? Perception really is reality. People, you in your mind have a different perception of this experience. You in your life have a different perception of the experience of the person that could be living a very similar life to you. But the only reason why that person has joy and why the other person is sad is literally their perception, their mindset. It's huge. It's the game changer. Affirmations help. Prayer is huge and helps. Okay. Prayer helps. Prayer helps. Anyways. But yeah, if it wasn't for her years ago saying perception is reality, I would have been completely lost. Years later, when I transitioned from employee to entrepreneur, that mindset shift was huge. It was groundbreaking, still something I'm working on even today, years later. There's a lot of different mindset shifts, but it all starts with you. No one else can do the mindset work for you. No one else can work on your communication skills for you. And I think with the whole perception, acknowledging, how self-aware are you? I think self-awareness is something we're all born with. When your parents might drop you or not, you start crying, right, as a child. But as adults, we kind of get wrapped up in believing what other people say. And again, that's perception. So whether someone tells you something good or someone tells you something bad, it's based on their perception of you. And the cool thing is we can't shape their perceptions of us, but we get to control how we talk about ourselves. So positive self-talk was another huge thing that I learned along the way.
Don't give people ammunition to shoot you with. If you have insecurities, keep that to yourself. It don't need to go on the internet, because folks will use that against you. And then just why? It's like shooting yourself in the foot. It's here is what hurts me the most, and I'll just place it right in the chamber for you, so all you have to do is pull the trigger. Huh? When we were oh my gosh, yeah, I take a guy back after the 49th time of saying no. Don't tell folks that. Keep that to yourself. Keep that to your friends. The rest of the world doesn't need to know, because then that's going to attract a man who wants you to take him back 49 times. Not even just spiritually attract. It's going to be You see me, I see you. You see me, see you. Or however it go. Just, no. Keep it to yourself.
My girl. I wasn't your girl. Danielle. I wasn't your girl. You ain't never been my girl.
Now, I'm not going to diagnose anyone, but seeing Danny Lee and DaBaby's relationship play out on the internet, there are a lot of great examples of what it is like to date a narcissist. Now, there are many tactics that narcissists use when they're in relationships, but I'm going to go through a few that I've noticed going on with these two. I'll start with phase 1, which is the idolization phase. This is when the love bombing starts. And this is usually during the time when they put you up on a pedestal. I'm not giving her any excuse for coming out with this Yellowbone song, but I'm willing to put money on it that he probably gassed her up so hard that she thought this was a good idea. Another tactic that narcissists love to use is triangulation, hitting their new narcissistic supply against their old one. Nothing boosts an insecure person's ego like two people fighting over them. Another tactic is gaslighting. Like we saw in the beginning of the video, him saying, "We were never together, you were never my girl." I mean, I don't know that many people who will let their side piece post pictures like this of them on Instagram or do a song with them. And I don't know that many guys who let random girls that get pregnant move in with them. But this is what narcissists do. They want you to feel like you're going crazy and that your reality is not real. And lastly, we have the final tactic that we've been all watching today unfold, which is devaluation and discard. This is when the narcissist knows he's going to get rid of you, so they need to bring you down, and then they get rid of you.
I just said it was lame. I'm not mad. It's just lame.
See, I really hate the whole rich girl versus black girl TikTok because, bitch, your spirit don't know the difference between a mansion and a motherfucking apartment. Your spirit don't know the difference between a Teflon and a fucking Birkin. See, when you just living in your flesh, you let material things dictate your fucking happiness. My apartment is my mansion. My Teflon is a Birkin to me because I make it that way. I don't let society or other people dictate my reality. I create that for my motherfucking self. You need to as well. You need to create your own reality, create your own happiness, and you better motherfucking romanticize your life, because if you don't, you will be out here chasing things you already fucking have. Wake the fuck up.
Hi, my lovies. I feel like many times we like to suppress our feelings in order to maybe not look a certain way in other people's eyes who have caused us this pain or this stress or this distress, and you're like, ah. And at a certain point in your life, you have to realize, fuck these bitches. Because you deserve to feel your feelings. You deserve to feel your pain. You deserve to feel that stress and release it. You should not have to carry that baggage in you. You should not have to carry other people's energy in you because they're not willing to deal with that shit themselves. That is not your fucking job. And whenever you're feeling stressed solely based on whatever situation you're in, and you feel hopeless and you feel stuck, allow the universe to show up for you. You know what I mean? When it's like, it's above me. Girl, yes the fuck it is. Allow the universe to show up for you. Say, I allow the universe to show up for me. I allow the universe to show me good things. I allow the universe to make this better. And it will. Trust that it will. But don't carry other people's shit.
There are 5 ways to help you practice self-love. Tip number 1, self-care. Taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually is the highest form of self-love and respect. So go for a jog, journal a little bit, monitor the foods that you're putting into your body. Tip number 2, quit negative self-talk. The way that you talk to yourself impacts the way that you do everything. Your words become your actions become your reality. Tip number 3, practice gratitude. When you wake up in the morning, thank your creator for the things that he's done for you, for the people that you have in your life. Tip number 4, know your self-worth. Know who you are, believe in yourself, and know that you have the power and the ability to change the narrative of your life at any given time. Tip number 5, do something that simply makes you happy. And remember, when a little girl is healed, the woman will show herself.
So I want to encourage you to step outside your comfort zone. When you get a little bit uncomfortable, that's when God starts to work in your life. That's when he's doing things that, you know, are going to literally help you to be where you're trying to go in your life.
Hey, Black Corporate TikTok. Today's message, be mindful of how to accept information, but careful not to gossip. I learned early on in my career that for some reason, people love to talk to me. And I mean talk. about everything. What's going on in their life? What's going on in a person's life? What's this and what's that and everything and that and the third. And this is a blessing and a curse. However, if you use it carefully, you can gather information that will allow you to make more strategic moves within your organization and in your career. And if you're getting into being a leader, how you manage confidential information will be pivotal in your success. And remember, just because they're talking to you about their business doesn't mean you tell them yours.
Learn from a bitch mistakes, okay? A red flag is a motherfucking red flag, okay, bitch? It's not pink, it's not orange, it's not yellow, it's red.
In order to be a girl about town, you've got to stop procrastinating. A friend of mine told me that when you procrastinate or you put something off, you're just robbing your future self. And it was really an aha moment for me. Think about it. Putting something off to do it later, you're blocking all of the things that you can be doing later. You're robbing yourself of time, opportunities that might have presented itself, etc., etc. I started this practice of just doing it now if I could. So instead of saying, oh, I'll wash those 3 dishes in the sink later, I'll just do it now because it's going to take me 5 minutes. And so even if you can't do a complete task, start it because you're saving yourself time and your future self will thank you. Whereas if you wait, your future self will do the opposite of thank you. Love you. Mean it.
I saw this post on Instagram and I want to talk about it. Here's 3 pieces of advice I would give my younger self. Number 1, you could date people, you could be friends with people, you could have long-term relationships with folks who still do not view you as a human being. Surround yourself with people who view you as a multifaceted person and respect you for it. Number 2 is a big one. You're not ugly, you're just not white. We need to let go of beauty standards because they were not made for marginalized identities. Beauty standards were quite literally constructed in opposition of blackness. So you're not ugly, you're just not white. Number 3, the most important one, take up space. Take up as much space as you want in a world that seeks to silence fat black girls. Take up as much space as you can because you deserve to be here, you deserve to be heard, and you deserve to be seen. So, what advice would you give to your younger self?
I don't know who needs to hear this, but be careful running off with the idea of someone. See, because so many of us have been in long-term relationships and all we see now is what our spouse lacks. All we see is where they're wrong at. So now you meet somebody new and everything that your spouse lacks and doesn't do, that's what that person does. That's where they shine the most. So now you feel like, oh, I found somebody that I could replace my spouse with. I'm going to run off into the sunset and be happy. Oh, but baby, be careful. See, because what ends up happening is you don't really know this person. All you see is the best times. You don't see angry. You don't see sadness. You don't see when they get upset, when they get depressed. You don't know this person really at all because all you do is spend time with them over the phone. And they're going to say all the right stuff over the phone because life ain't real with them yet. You don't show up for them every day and live with them like you do with your spouse. So that's why you don't really know this person. So it's very easy to get caught up in the idea and to see the best in someone when the best is all you've seen.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
You know what? When men are assertive and they're confident and they're sure of themselves and they take charge, people look at them and they say, you know what? I like that guy. I like him. I want him on my team. I want him to lead my team. But when women have those same traits, people look at her and say, she is so hard to get along with. Oh, her personality is like sandpaper. She's such a bitch. Especially women of color. I don't quite understand that. But I guess I'll be that bitch today and every day.